actually started as a project where some people who were very connected to the developmental disability community in Colorado were doing some research about the conditions at the Wheat Ridge Regional Center. And the people who were part of that initial project were actually the founders of the organization. And I think that the founders had an excellent vision of the future of this organization, because even though they were so involved with people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, they wanted the mission of the organization to cover people with all types of disability. The organization was founded in 1976, and in 1977 we were designated by Governor Lamb as the protection and advocacy system for people with developmental disabilities. There are 7 other protection and advocacy programs that have been created since then. And I think also that one of the things that is very unique about our organization is that we are also the home of the State Long-Term Care Ombudsman and the Legal Assistance Developer for Elders. We're the only protection and advocacy organization in the country that has that relationship with the State Long-Term Care Ombudsman.
So Cassandra is a young woman who has mental health disabilities and uses an assistance animal to help her with symptoms of that.
Well, we've had Joey for about 2 to 3 years now. He's been an awesome assistance animal for her. Our daughter had a sudden collapse on the basketball court in 2012, and so she was in the hospital for 3 months. And we came home. We brought Joey home shortly thereafter while she was recovering at home, and Joey has just been very comforting for her. Soothing, I guess is the best way to say, calms her down, helps her with anxiety and some depressive moments that she's had.
Joey got picked up by animal control, and then the city attorney in their city contacted the family to say, hey, this is a pit bull. Pit bulls are not allowed in this city, and we're going to move forward in court to have Joey removed from your household.
When I got Joey, I don't know, I kind of had a connection with him, and so, I don't know, he's just really like nice and calm. Even though he's really big, he's really like the sweetest dog.
Cassandra relies on Joey to help her every day. So they called us and said, what can we do? And one of our staff attorneys worked with the family and provided them all the information they needed to understand what the law is on service and assistance animals, and that Cassandra has a right to have Joey in her home to help her with her disabilities. And so the family was able to convince the city attorney with that information from Disability Law Colorado that Joey was able to stay there because that's what Cassandra needed, and Cassandra had rights as a person with a disability. So Joey got to stay with Cassandra and the family, and it's a fantastic outcome.
So when we discovered we had Disability Law Colorado in our corner, it felt very reassuring, and we knew that we had support to help us win the case with Joey.
Johnny's a fantastic young man who came to us through actually a school district employee. Johnny, during high school, was in a program that was School to Work for people with disabilities, and he was placed into a restaurant work environment through that program and worked there for several years. Unfortunately, after a couple of years of working there, the conditions turned pretty horrendous.
Like they kept calling me like radio or something. They kept calling me that because the guy, he was black and all, and it was hard for him to learn. And he struggled a lot. I feel like I wasn't being treated fair. Like I feel like I wasn't respected like a normal human being should be treated. like the racial slurs, like made racist comment about like enslaved time, like about black monkeys were locked up in cages. And
when we found out some of the things that were happening, we were appalled. And then we saw Johnny's diary, and Johnny was, at the advice of his mother, was keeping a diary of basically daily things that were going on at work. And his memory of what had happened and how it had made him feel was unbelievable. And we knew that this was a case we needed to take on and advocate for Johnny and be in his corner. So we initially, like we always do at Disability Law Colorado, we try to resolve cases at the lowest level possible. And Johnny's case was no exception, and we tried to contact the employer to let them know what was going on, get it to stop, make changes in that environment. Unfortunately, that was not successful, so we ultimately had to file a employment discrimination complaint with the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, and we worked through that system. Johnny was interviewed, there was a full investigation, and we got a finding that yes, there was discrimination at this environment, a hostile work environment, and a finding for Johnny. And that really made Johnny feel very good to know that when outsiders looked at this situation, they agreed that what happened to him was wrong and agreed that there need to be changes for the future.
made me feel happier that somebody's listening. Made me feel more energetic, and that they believe me, they want to help me, and like I wasn't myself back in the past when I was being mistreated. I feel like I wasn't me. Like I feel like my personality changed, and
Mary Fiona came to us because her mom called us. Mary Fiona was a young girl in elementary school who had some mental health disabilities, but had been going to school in neighborhood school. However, due to Mary Fiona's specific needs, it had been decided by Mary Fiona and the people at the school district that she needed some different levels of services, and she was going to be going to school at a segregated school specifically for kids with disabilities.
So after my daughter was discharged from the hospital at one point, the school district placed her in a therapeutic school within the district, and that school did not have art classes, music classes, a library, or a playground.
So we took it very seriously and filed that complaint. The school district, to their credit, also took it very seriously and agreed to meet with us right away. We went to the school, toured the school, talked to them about our concerns, and within a very short period of time, we were able to get an agreement with the school district that a new fully accessible playground would be built, a library would be started and would be stocked to the same level that neighborhood school libraries are stocked, and that the school would now offer art and music classes for all students so that they could have those same services that kids in the neighborhood schools have.
I am so grateful that you guys exist, because without you, I don't know if I would have had the knowledge or the stamina to fight to get what my daughter was entitled to.
What I'd most want people to know is really all the different ways in which the organization advocates and tries to protect the rights of people with disabilities. I think the name of the organization doesn't capture quite the broad scope of the activities of the organization, how many programs that we're involved with, and again, the hard work and dedication of the people who work here.